All right, final piece of computing with integers, we are going to look at dividing rational numbers. So computing with rational numbers, final piece, dividing with rational numbers. So we have fractions here. Some are improper, which is fine. Some we're going to have to change so that they are improper, and we'll get to that in a few minutes. So the first thing, again, we want to look at are the signs. So I see I have a negative divided by a negative. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. So I now know that my final answer is going to be positive. So now I can simply drop the signs and go to work dividing. So 12/5 divided by 1/3. Remember that when we're dividing fractions, we keep the first fraction the same. We change division to multiplication, and then we flip the second fraction to find its reciprocal. And then now that we have multiplication, we are simply going to just multiply straight across. So we're going to take 12 times 3. 12 times 3 is 36. 5 times 1 is 5. So we get an answer of 36/5, or we can change that into an improper, or I'm sorry, it is an improper fraction. We can change that into a mixed number. So again, remember we want to take this and almost look at it as a division problem. So 5 can go into 36 6 times, 7 times. 7 times 5 is 35. Subtract, we get a 1. So we have 7 1/5. So our final answer is 7 1/5 or 36/5, both positive. Example 8, we have a mixed number that is positive, and we have a whole number that is negative. Anytime we're dividing, whether it's a positive divided by a negative or a negative divided by a positive, your answer is going to be negative. So now we do have to do a little bit with this problem. We need to change 5 1/3 into an improper fraction. So remember, to do that, we take the bottom, or the denominator, we multiply it by the whole number, and then we add the numerator. So 3 times 5 is 15, plus 1 is 16, getting ahead of myself. You keep the same denominator, so we have 16/3, divided by -7 to turn a whole number into a fraction. Remember, we just put it over 1. So we have 16/3 divided by -7 over 1. Again, positive divided by a negative is going to result in a negative answer. So now we can go ahead with our steps of dividing fractions. So we are going to keep the first fraction the same, change division to multiplication, and then flip the second fraction. And I'm going to actually drop that negative sign because I already know my answer is negative. Final step is to multiply straight across. So when we multiply 16 times 1, we get 16. 3 times 7 is 21. There is no common number between 16 and 21, so we can't simplify anything. So our final answer to this division problem would be -16 over 21.